Hello, welcome to Ryan Speaks Geek. I'm doing just a quick live look at a Paleetoys latest playset. I've done it live because I've got it and I thought, what the hell, give it a go, as it were. So let's have a quick little look around here because I'm still getting used to a lot of these things. So, evening, Stugs, how's it going? Good to see you. I'm in my festive jumper because it's a festive time of year. And as with most festive times of the year, it's all about presents. And my best present to myself has been the Destruction of Alderaan, which is a really lovely playset from Palitoy. If you're not familiar with Palitoy, they are a fantastic new sort of third-party Star Wars company that sort of started out an artisan creator. They've done a few different playsets. I've actually reviewed one of them already on this channel. I spoke about a bit about it. I've got a red variant which I'm looking at doing very shortly as a review because Lee, who is the Lee in Paleetoys, see what they did there, has very kindly actually sent me some files to try and print and do some alternative backgrounds. Because the good thing about Palitoys is it's no longer just Star Wars. We're actually going to be moving into like the new age of Palitoy, where it is going to be everything Palitoy. So there's Action Force, but there's also been toying with Black Hole, Disney's Black Hole series for potential backgrounds, and also the Pole Doctor Who, because I actually collect all of those kind of weird little extra toy lines because anything vintagey and fits in with my Star Wars, I'm there. I'm sold, as it were. So yeah, so this is Palitoy. The box itself is amazing, very very Kenner-esque, very Palitoy. Always love it when you have this kind of quality in regards to the packaging. Packaging doesn't mean everything to any, like most people, but it does to a lot. And I think the fact that it has to be clear that the action figures are not included. It's always good to know. Ages 40 and up, that cracks me up because technically, despite this hairline, I'm actually not old enough to play with it still. This is the, like I said, this is the second main offering, like say different one. We've had the Death Star playset. I think it's the detention center, if I remember off the top of my head, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's detention center, which we also got like a retro red variant, which was really cool to see. Just realized this might actually be mirrored. Let me just see if I can change that over, because I've just realized that with my camera I do normally mirror, I think. So let's see if I can flip this over because I'm not sure. Is that now reading the correct way? Stugs, give me a thumbs up or something if this is this now reading. Can you read these words this way around? I'm waiting on you. Stugs is in the comments, and I really appreciate Stug watching because Stug's a regular viewer. But yeah, I just realized that with the reverse viewing, anything I show on here might be backwards. So, cool. There we go. That's good. Thank you, Stugs, my wonderful assistant, Stug, in the comments there. Like I said, the box is fantastically made, really high quality printing as well, which is always really lovely to see. But obviously, the thing we want to really talk about is the playset itself. So I have got it right here. Here's one I made earlier. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. We've got like a vacuum molded base, which is really cool with the Imperial logo. Imperial symbol. Don't know what you want to call it. That's molded actually already into the base, which is a really lovely detail. So you've got the kind of compressed tiles. It's got that kind of old school look about it. The artwork as well is so Palitoy. It's insane. It also reminds me of those old sort of coloring books and activity books that always used to have that same kind of style. There is just something very nostalgic about it. It's very comforting. Speaking of comforting, do you know what's not comforting is the destruction of a planet that's just crudely, casually there in the background. In fact, shall we just like remind ourselves of what that glorious bit was? Let's have a look.
Continue with the operation. You may fire when ready.
What?
You're far too trusting. Dantooine is too remote to make an effective demonstration, but don't worry. We will deal with your rebel friends soon enough.
Commence primary ignition.
Absolutely brutal. but perfectly encapsulated in playset form forever now, which is really cool to see. There's a good amount of surface area for different like characters as well. There's 3 different levels, which is a really nice adjustment as well. Because if you're having, even if you want to use this as like a display stand and having them all face forward, that gives you a lot of options for display. It's got 2 computer panels here, so these are similar to the ones in the Death Star playset, which is a really nice touch because it's sort of continuity between the different sets, which I really do appreciate. We've got some of the different graphs here. This one is quite funny. It's like a very crude drawing of the Death Star blowing up Alderaan, and that's really cool to see. This is very mirroring some of the old computer panels you see actually in the New Hope, which is really cool. These are both the same. I have put one in up one way and one up the other way just to add some variation because of the design on it, which that's a personal choice. That's what's going on in the front of the playset. The really cool thing about this one is there's something going on in the back as well. If we go to these sides, there's actually doorways to these tech stations. So, do you know, I'm going to, because I can do this bit, look at that. So if I take off the backdrop, which sits securely into these fasteners, but you can see that actually those before, because I haven't secured those ones in, I have secured these ones in more. We have got these sort of extra computer panels here, which is really cool. Really good detail. The stickers once again have come in nicely. I've applied those as best as I can. I'm not brilliant at doing stickers, unfortunately. So, you know, just saying, Lee, if you're watching, I would love for a service, or I would happily pay a little bit extra for someone else to put the stickers on for me and then put it back in the box. Don't mind assembling. I just can't do the stickers very well. It's just me. I'll put it down to these big fat butcher's hands that I've got. Right. Just picking up my computer panels. So, you know, these are really good. Beautiful computer panels. Great detail on the stickers there as well. Ah, see. Yep, androgyny there. I hate to point this out, but now you have this place that you need a Peter Cushing Tarkin in slippers action figures, otherwise it won't be movie accurate. You know what? You're absolutely right. I think that needs to be next on the custom works. I believe there's a reaction figure, if I remember correctly, that has slippers on the feet. I think it's from Pulp Fiction. So maybe if I get that figure, cut the slippers, like the feet and the slippers off, add them to my Hasbro Tarkin, we'll be able to sort of get that working. Now, I'm just going to put myself over here. I think let's have a look, because I want to show you guys some amazing other things we've got going on. Let's have a look. Okay, right, there we go. So here we have a really awesome one. This is the Destruction of Alderaan set that is ongoing. I'm really happy with the way this looks, like obviously in the design, and then what we've actually got as the final product. I think that's a really good match. Personally, I think that's pretty spot on. Yeah, so yeah, that's that one. When I said about like we're moving not just for Star Wars, we're going into different things. This is what I was talking about. So we now have this, which is coming up, which is the Baron's Lair, and I'm really excited about this. It's a step into Action Force, another great Palitoy line, one that I've used myself actually. Some of the bits from both lines to create like more environments for my figures. I looked, I think, the other week at my Action Force Imperial Gunner Station, which will go very nicely with the sort of Palitoy like aesthetic and Star Wars Kenner line. So Palitoy are now going to be doing this as well, which is a really exciting foray into a new franchise brand. The cool thing about this as well, on the floor panels, where the Empire logo is, we've got the kind of the red skull look, which is going to be really cool. So that's going to really add something to the set. And then see, I'm still getting used to all this moving the bits with the screen, so do forgive me. Oh, there we go. And there's the box art for it. So as you can see on the floor bit I was talking about there, you can see that that's where we've got a new molding. There's also on the back there as well, there's a brand new design for the panel that goes around. It's going to be a really exciting addition, in my humble opinion. We've also got, this is really cool, which is the Bespin freeze chamber set coming up. Now, this is really exciting, especially because it looks like it's the crane arm is going to be sort of semi-functional. So if it can potentially lift up Carbonite block, and it looks like it's going to be based on the Slave One Han Solo and Carbonite, if it can really lift that up and down, that would be really cool. Again, I'm looking at that thinking that's going to be a lot of stickers, and I'm going to need Lee to help me out on that one. Now, here's a potential new use for this same kind of mold that we've got here, because sometimes I think the ability to change backgrounds can really make something look very different. Even though, yes, it is the same playset in its bare bones, adding something makes it look entirely new and gives it a fresh paint facelift. That's it. Fresh coat of paint gives it a new facelift, new lease of life, and I think this is a good potential one for the Star Destroyer bridge set. Should be cool to be able to display your bounty hunters on. This one is particularly exciting. This is the Hoth Bacta chamber. So we're finally going to get somewhere for Luke to rest and recuperate. This is a really exciting concept as well because white plastic and everything like that will fit in nicely with the existing Hoth playsets that we have. So having a nice Hoth shelf will be pretty good. I think having that next to the one with the little ice cave, that's the repaint of the Land of the Jawas one, original one, I think will be a really good addition. I also think that the other nice thing about this is that I believe Trash Compactor does do a very, very good Luke in his underpants, for lack of a better word, when he's in the back to tank. So that would be good. So if you are looking for that, to add that to this, right there as you go, because a lot of people have been using I think it's Power of the Jedi one, where it has a little bubble tube and stuff like that, and it's great, but it's not very vintage. Whereas this feels very vintage. It's a good space for all your figures there as well. Jabba the Hutt's playset. Look at this. Jabba's palace is that one looks really cool. I love we've mixed up the floor tiles a bit here with those triangular ones, give it that much more sort of rustic sort of cave feel. That's looking like a really promising design, especially with the characters painted on in the background. And that is such a Palitoy Kenner design, is having those 2D characters. It's a weird thing, but it's almost like extra world building. So as we can see on this one, for example, where we have the stormtroopers guarding the door, I just think that is such a cool detail, and it's something that I would miss if it wasn't on in the designs. This is how I had mine set up the other day before I took it down now to move it. So I've got mine set up in a different way, so you can do it in the standard way. My target is not in slippers, as you can see. I have, because you can the thing is as well, just because it's set up a certain way in the box doesn't mean that's how you need to have it set up at home. Mine is set up like this because these are the figures I had to hand, and I was like, actually, I'm going to go for like an EU story. So I've made up one where basically Kenobi has decided to commit to the dark side and is just there going with Tarkin and his former apprentice going around destroying planets in the name of the dark side, which is nice. In that picture, you can see as well, by the way, there is Stan Solo Imperial Weapons Technicians, Trash Compactors, Imperial like EV9 droid that I kind of kept pestering him to make, and he finally did. And also, we've got the always amazing Next 17's Darth Kenobi figure there with Tarkin, which really is something that lends to that general aesthetic. And then if we go here, this is another one that's upcoming, which is the detention block itself, the actual cell. So this looks really exciting because of another reason. But you can see that there seems to be an interrogation droid that will have a movable up and down feature on the back if this is one that goes into production. Very exciting, and it should tie up nicely with the other Death Star playset. So theoretically, if you have a long shelf like what I've got here, you could have a few of these lined up to make a very good sequence in the story, almost. So we'll have to see how that comes out. Fingers crossed it does. But that's all the ones there that we've got upcoming. The Kraken playset as well is another one that is coming potentially, which is using the using that using the Hoth back to tank playset and potentially putting something quite cool in there. Let's see if I can get that one up actually, because I do have a picture of it somewhere because I found it earlier and I was really impressed with how it looked. Let's have a look. Okay, I don't have it to hand, sadly. I'm sorry, but it is available on the Palitoy Facebook page. That is one thing. Palitoy has a really good Facebook page. I would highly recommend going and check that out. That's where all the updates are. It's also where you can get the links to order these playsets as well. So at the moment, there is a pre-order for the Baron's Lair, which I cannot wait for. So if you're big into your action force, now's your time to go and pre-order that, because I think it's going to be a very limited run. And then also where you can order the destruction of the Death Star, and also the Death Star detention cell block, which is, I think, maybe on sale at the moment. I might be misquoting that, so if I am, do apologize. But that's going to be a really, really exciting thing. So do check that out, because I do think that is worth having a look. The actual what time now? Oh, you can hear that's my neighbors. They're emptying their recycling, because that's the only thing about doing these things live sometimes. I'm going to respond to Lee while we're on here. Look at that. The marvels of modern technology. Yeah, really, really happy with how the playset turns out. I think it's just awesome. Now, one thing I've got to talk about is this one kind of comes with a figure. Um, this is just such a good little addition, like an extra. It's a mouse droid. It's a vintage style mouse droid. Now, this is just beyond cool. It sounded like Santa. Well, Santa's always here, and actually, this is the extra gift that Santa's brought. So I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but this is a really cool little feature of said mouse droid, is that the sticker is actually based on the power droid. So it's a really, really nice nod to sort of Kenner's figures. It's a really good size. It scales nicely. What I did do with mine, though, before I put the sticker on, because it has a sticker that you have to apply, I actually gave mine because I had my paints out for doing other figures. I gave mine a gloss black paint job, like just a one coat, like gloss black over the top. And I really like how that's turned out. Actually, it finishes it off really nicely. In that, giving it that just sort of vintagey shine, that very particular like satin gloss type look there. But I thought that was such a cool addition. And if they want to come in more playsets in the future, I am all for it. I absolutely love all the little itty bitty creatures and droids and things that are always around in the universe. But like I said, I am absolutely like beyond blown away by this playset. I think the other good thing about this is, though, it just shows that there is a market for it. Two, Bob Brecken himself from Palitoy was very impressed and a big fan of these. So that tells you what you need to know about the quality. It's been signed off by Palitoy. The original Palitoy is signed off on Palitoy, basically. I mean, what more of a compliment and sort of confirmation of quality could you have? This is my third playset, because I've got the red variant as well. I will be getting every single one that Palitoy pumps out. I will be there for, because, like I said, the experience is awesome. It is like being a kid at Christmas again, or your birthday. It feels just exactly as it's meant to, a nostalgic ride through Palitoy and Kenner. And it also, like I said, it gives me better ways to set up figures and stories, because sometimes I'm running out of different playset bits. So at the moment, for example, my Tatooine is basically sandpaper on the shelf, and then the house that I found cheap at one point, my custom Ronto, Stanso the Bantha, Jabbers. I'm redoing all my shelves at the moment, which is why I thought it'd be a good time to talk about the Palitoy playset, because that's going on the shelf and will be set up, and then it'll be very hard to take off and then review. So I thought I'm going to do it live. Also, because I don't know if you noticed in my other videos, I'm not very good at editing. So there is no editing on here. It's just me fumbling around on internet controls instead. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Please do go check out Palitoy. Like I said, they are on Facebook, and the quality is just phenomenal. I will continue to post pictures of them, and when I've got my new setup done completely, I will be sharing more. There is a lot more coming onto the channel as well. We have got Steve Evans, Mr. Stevie himself, live with me on Sunday at 8 p.m. That is Sunday the 10th. We have got Analog Toys coming on in the new year. And a couple other little surprise guests as well, which is really lovely. But mainly, I'm going to be talking a lot more Star Wars. I'm going to be showing off a bit more of my custom work as well, because I've actually started getting into customs quite a lot. Also, they've got a festive unboxing coming soon. All I'll say about that is that it might be a Turbo Man. So yeah, that's coming very, very soon. Yes, very much Christmas jumper. which I always like to see, like to have. But yeah, so like I said, thank you for watching and tuning in, and anyone who's watching this on later as well, because I know it's a bit last minute with the live, but I just thought it's there, and then it's there for you to enjoy at your leisure. Please, yeah, check out Palitoys, support them, get the playsets while they're there, because some of them are going to have very limited runs. So once they're gone, much like the Action Force one. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Palitoys, for making the playsets. You got a customer for life, and I can't wait to see what you do next. So thank you very much. I guess the only thing to say is Geek it real.